Hey, so we finally finished our first few episodes. I hope you can get through all 4 if you're watching, and subscribe to our channel. Full disclosure, I have absolutely no experience with production. This is my first time open Komodo. We got better as we kind of went through this. It's definitely been more of an undertaking than I thought it was going to be. Hours upon hours and scheduling and everything else. I have a lot of respect for the people that do this regularly. A lot of people have asked me how I got here along the way, the people that we filmed and everything else, so I figured let me take a few seconds and give you the really quick version. I was in the city and just saw people moving around at a very quick pace, and I was like, this is no way to live, and everybody's buried in their phones and they're looking at their screens and they're not talking to each other, and I decided to put my stuff away. I decided to just talk to individuals, and then I was like, all right, what do I talk to them about? So when I got to where I was going, I noticed someone with a tattoo, and I started asking them about their tattoo, and they shared their story, and it was very interesting. And I started asking other people about that and other people about that, and then I was like, you know what? If I enjoy these stories so much, I think other people will too, and that's kind of how we got here. So once we decided that we were going to kind of go through with this and make a few episodes, I really didn't know where to start, but I knew I wanted to start, so I called the only guy I knew that has a tattoo shop, Rustin Revilla, over at Progressive Tattoo. I went over the concept with Rustin of what we were trying to do, and he was kind enough to reach out to some of his clients and invite them into his shop for a day where we can do some filming and get behind some of their stories. Rustin's was interesting as well, so we went to Progressive Tattoo.
I started getting tattoos, I guess, back in the early 2000s, and my most recent one is the one which I have on my arm here that goes up to my chest. So what it basically is it's a pirate ship into a kraken kind of overtaking the pirate ship. And I had the idea, it's because my kids, they love Pirates of the Caribbean. I like pirates, the whole concept of the kraken. So yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean, the kids love pirates. Actually, we redone the bathroom in our house, and I made it a pirate theme. So it's like, it looks like a big pirate ship in there, so with the wood planking and stuff like that. Yeah, now my arm matches, and you know, it kind of wraps all the way around with the kraken, and then it kind of goes up into the shoulder, a cool skin swirl to just transition into the top part, which relates to my being a history teacher. It's all nautical tools and you know, old school compass, you know, telescope and things like that, a rolled up map. All right, so this tattoo is the one that was done by Rustin. It's got the pirate ship, the kraken, which was overtaking it, and you can see the kraken right here. That's kind of inspired by my kids. They love Pirates of the Caribbean. I love it. You know, we love the ride. We love Disney, the movies. But I didn't want to get like a Jack Sparrow tattoo on me. So I kind of let Rustin just do his thing. I said, this is what I want. I want a pirate ship. I want a kraken, and then just go. And so he drew this all. This is all from scratch. It develops into the skin swirl and then transitions up here into all the nautical tools and the map. And the reason why I got this is really just because of my teaching background. I told you U.S. history, so we do exploration. We talk about this stuff. And
so what do we got? We got the feather here.
So the quill pen, you have the magnifying glass. X marks the spot, of course. The compass. This is another version of a compass. Your telescope, and of course your rolled up. These are the actual prints from when he came out. You know, seconds, minutes later, you know, whatever it is. So that was the first one I got for him. 2011, this was for my son Luke, and he's got an interesting story all to himself, which I could share with you. He's a brain tumor survivor. And then this one here was my third son, my last son, Matthew, which is May 29th of 2014. So I got that done, and those ones are all for my kids. And those really, as much as I love this one, these are my kids. Yeah, and I wanted to be consistent. You know, I thought about doing handprints or different ideas, and I know people have, you know, there's a million different ways you can kind of go about and do this, but I like the footprints just because, just from when they came out, you know, from the very first set. I have a cross that one of my best friends actually from college, while we were in college, he liked to draw, and he was kind of studying art and just kind of doing it on the side, and then I asked him to draw me a big cross, and because it's something you know, I am a religious person. I teach at St. John, so I do have great faith, and I liked it, and it was actually one of the first ones I got. So it's a special piece to me because it's from really my college best friend, my roommate. Played baseball with him, and we're still best friends to this day.
I was 20 years old, working in a nightclub at the time. It was a strip club actually, but I was working as a bard back in the back of the bar. But I was taking community college courses on some art classes, some prerequisites, And I was taking all my homework to work with me because my work shift was from 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. And you know, I had no time, so I was doing all my work at work, my homework. And the guy there was like, saw my stuff, and he's like, you know what, you should learn how to tattoo. And I was like, well, I never really thought about it, but that'd be pretty cool. I always wanted to do, you know, my living with my art. You know, an apprenticeship is like an internship where you pretty much trade your work effort for work to work in the shop. So it was an interesting time, a lot to learn from. But while I was there, I worked under two guys, and both of them basically took each of my arms in exchange for my apprenticeship. Also, well, it was more of a gift in a sense, because they didn't really have to tattoo me for my apprenticeship. They just tattooed me because it was, you know, it was kind of a cool thing to do for me, I guess, you know. Clean real estate, representation of them, you know. So that's kind of where I got with it. They chose what I was getting, but allowed me to draw most of it up. One side was mostly just a traditional Japanese tattooist drew that one.
This is Rustin's wife. So she came in, she wanted to talk about some of the things that she had tattooed at her. It had been a long time since you guys were married before you had your first one. So, you know, Rustin was explaining that it was because he wanted to make sure that he had the right thing, because you were his best canvas ever.
Yes.
So let's talk about what you did. We'll go in order. So we'll start with you said your foot, right? Was the first one?
My foot was the first one. And this one I got done in Philadelphia, and it's an owl. And the owl kind of represents, of course, you got to get one for your mom, so it kind of represents my mom. And the book is, I like to write. So the Black Swan was kind of, there's a place in Hawaii, we're from Hawaii, and my mother-in-law was sick, and we went there to pray for her, and I really wanted to do something for her, and I looked up Black Swan, and it kind of more meant me. Like, if you look up a black swan, it's like something devastating, something beautiful comes out of something very devastating. So like if the market crashes and then one company makes money, that's a black swan. They kind of say like the end of the world is a black swan. But that's kind of my story of me.
I have a half sleeve, goes from my knee down. And basically I started off with small pieces. I've been playing hockey my whole life, and I'm a big hockey fan. So I basically started out with a small Ranger logo that I had seen on someone else.
Let's go Rangers! Let's go Rangers!
I thought it was really cool. Placement was really cool on the calf, and I really liked it. So I got one. And after that, it kind of just kept steamrolling after that. After that, I got a hockey player just below it on my leg, and I kind of thought it fit a nice hockey theme. So after that, now I just kept going. I started doing more things that were family orientated, or for me, things that were my, you know, things I liked. So I wound up getting a mug, a beer mug, that full mug, and with an eye in it, so I could keep an eye on what I'm drinking, you know. And I thought that was really cool. It was just a fun thing to have. After that, we did an oboe. Did a big oboe for my mom. Runs up and down my whole shin, from the top to the bottom. My mother plays the oboe. She's been a musician for, you know, my entire life since she was a little kid. She plays an oboe in a couple orchestras. So that was, I thought it was a nice instrument to get, you know, a tattoo of in remembrance of my mother. My mother's still alive now. Both my parents are, but I really thought this was a cool addition to my piece. So it runs all the way down my shin from knee to ankle, and then we have music notes that come out the bottom, and mom written in music notes.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, and what I really liked about it was my mother, when she saw it, she counted all the keys and said, wow, all the keys are on the oboe. So impressed by that. When I told Rustin, he was just amazed. You know, got a deck of cards. I like playing cards. What card games I play are, you know, whatever.
Hold'em, poker,
Texas
whatever.
Hold'em, Omaha, poker, gin rummy. We're playing cards. I enjoy to play cards. I like playing games overall, so cards are just something fun. So I got a big card. It's not a hand, it's just a loose card, King of Diamonds, displayed, and it just looks so sharp. It's so right on. It looks just like the card, with stacks of chips. Then after that, I did something for my dad. I got a whistle, referee's whistle. He's a coach and referee of a hockey league that we grew up playing in. And I brought down a whistle from, the actual referee's whistle. And Rustin drew it right in place, basically on my leg, and it was amazing. It looks mint. I also got 2 half sleeves, a Cobra and some biomechanics. None really have too much sentimental meaning other than I've always liked reptiles and snakes. I have snakes now. Not always, but I've had snakes for a handful of years. Easy pet to take care of, and just something fun to have. The biomechanics was something that came to me. This came to me in a dream. I had seen something in my head, and I was like, wow, I really like that. And we rolled together with a bunch of different ideas, and just started to get into it. This particular piece was all done freehand. This took 40+ hours. I can remember sitting here hours upon hours. Session after session, not a week after week, but you're here every couple months. And I do a lot of work outside, so I only do the work. Tattoo work usually in the winter.
Right, because you can't be in the sun.
I don't want them in the sun, so I tattoo, from October till March. So it's 2 or 3 times a season, and then I'm out of it.
I wanted to get some things that meant something to me about martial arts and Asian philosophy and things like that. So that's when I came to him, and he actually drew this one up here, and we used some stuff on this side from the 47 Ronin characters. Right, okay. This is Fire Mountain, or Kazan. The name of my dojo is Kazan Dojo. It means volcano school. The reason why I came up with that name is when you look at a volcano and it's peaceful, it looks beautiful. But when it explodes, it wipes everything out in its path. Just like the jiu-jitsu that I teach. When you're practicing, it looks so beautiful, but when you get attacked in the street or someone comes at you, you just wipe everyone out in your path. So no one wants to be on the bad end of that. So here we have Kazan, which means volcano. This is the first tattoo I got on this side. Rustin had planned this elaborate tattoo on this side. Now, at the time, it was my second tattoo, and I was like, well, I don't want to go too crazy. And then, 6 months later, I'm like, all right, Rustin, let's go crazy. So he designed all of the elements that come in and over. So, we have the earth in here, and with the earth, you have stability and confidence, and I have the water, which is changing and adaptability. You have the wind, which also changes, and then we have the wind, which is the wind is represented by this flower, and the gentleness too. The flowers represent the gentleness of the art of jiu-jitsu too. So we have that. Then we have the sky up top, which is just very creative. You're being very creative and thinking out of the box with your martial arts and things like that. Well, at first, I've been training for a few years, and I found myself without a sensei due to a falling out. So I found myself just being this warrior with no master. So a Ronin is a masterless samurai, and there were 47 of them, and there's a story of them and how they stay secluded for a year, and after a year they go back and attack this other lord that had killed their lord, and then they go back and kill them, and they fight to the death, and then actually have to commit seppuku, or Japanese ritual suicide, and they all are buried. And I've been to the tomb in Japan where they were all buried. But this guy I liked. Out of all the pictures that I had seen, and I have a whole library at my house full of the pictures and actually woodblock prints of this is a woodblock print. So I have this woodblock print of one of the 47 Ronin crashing through one of the paper gates, and you can see the sword here. He's running in full of action, and I was like, I want a warrior on my arm that symbolizes like myself. I teach Japanese sword fighting too, Iaido, Japanese swordsmanship. So I really appreciate the sword fighting aspect, and this just shows the movement and just the incredibleness of these warriors that were just so brave.
This one I had put on when my brother passed. Our friends, his, got together and were doing fundraisers to send burned children to day camp, camp for a week, 2 weeks. That design was on the shirts that they were giving away or raffling away at the time. No, just angel wings, basically. And I just decided one day to remember that, something I wanted to get. So then I decided to go get more tribal work, and everybody was telling me to come in and speak to Rustin because he was the man to do it.
This is a sugar skull that we got as a group tattoo after my wife and I and some friends took a cross-country trip. And we ended up in Santa Fe, and Santa Fe, a lot of the culture is around sugar skulls. So we felt it would be a nice commemorative tattoo, and she and I got matching ones as soon as we got back from the trip. We were, I think, 2 days back, and we were here at Rustin's.
So close, my sisters and I. We're just so close. We do a lot together. We bake together, and I don't know. I love hearts. We all love hearts. We all love purple. I was like, let's get a tattoo. Cherry blossoms, I just love the flower itself, and I love Japanese culture. So I wanted something feminine, and I mean, you really can't beat cherry blossoms. They're just gorgeous. So Rustin started up here on my shoulder. I kind of let him just do his thing, and he brought it down my whole back and just a little bit past my butt, and falling petals, a few branches. It's beautiful. It's nice and soft. It's a lot of people love it because there's no hard outline, and that's the first time I ever had a tattoo that had no outline. So it looks like someone just painted on me. So it's beautiful. He really did an outstanding job, and the petals falling, and one looks like a heart, so it tied into all my other hearts. So it's gorgeous. He really did such an outstanding job.
It started with my Gemini tattoo. I wanted to commemorate being married for more than 25 years, having family, so I figured the best way to do it would be to incorporate me being a Gemini, and then adding my my wedding date and my children's birth dates. Yeah, that was added on after 3 years ago my dad passed away, and the whole family had walked out of the house that night, and it was a perfectly clear evening, and there was this bright, beautiful moon and star in the sky, and we all looked up and we said, that's Dad looking down at us. And my daughter and I just knew immediately that we wanted to commemorate that moment, and we got matching tattoos. In '86 I joined the Operating Engineers Union, and I've been a mechanic working in power plants for 30+ years now, and I felt at some point a couple of years ago I wanted to commemorate that also. I wanted to do something to show what I've been doing all these years. So for the past 14 years I've been working in power plants that have gas turbines, and I thought it would be really cool to have a gas turbine tattooed on my arm. I knew it was right, it looked great, and that's when the endeavor started. Well, yeah, you've got all these turbine blades. These are all vanes. And you know, it's just all part of the combustion process where fuel goes into the turbine, ignites, spins the blades, and usually either makes power to fly a plane or it could turn a generator and make electric.
Sure, it's a Celtic bagpiper. My grandfather taught me everything about life, electricity, how to be a man, and when I was ready for a piece, I came to Rustin and said, listen, I want to memorize my grandfather. And he played the bagpipes, and he was just a strong influence in my life. So we went back and forth with a couple of pieces, and Rustin drew this up, and we came out with this Celtic bagpiper. I wanted the family kilt, the colors in it on my family's kilt. So I was able to get it, he captured it beautiful, and he added in the Masonic symbols for my grandfather. So it meant a lot. My daughter Kira Ann, she had gotten some tattoos from Rustin. These are 2 separate tattoos that Rustin did. Last year she was killed, her boyfriend killed with heroin. After Kira passed away, I wanted to have a memory tattoo of her. So I asked Rustin to come up with something, and he did both of these tattoos. So this is the top half of one of her tattoos and the bottom half of her other tattoo. And then there was a picture that he saw on my Facebook of her eye. So he duplicated her eyeball, and that's actually the color of her eye. I didn't even know when I asked Rustin to do a tattoo, I was just going to get, you know, a Sacred Heart or something, you know, traditional that most people get. And he did those tattoos and had the stencils. So he came up with that for me. A tattoo of, was a New York City paramedic, and everybody in life goes through life with a monkey in the back. I kept my monkey on my shoulder so I could remember what I've been through, and it's where I started off in Lower Manhattan and where I ended up in the South Bronx. And I had this first tattoo, I was 18 years old, I got this first tattoo. I went to this pagan's motorcycle shop and walked in to get a tattoo, and they were gonna kill me, you know. And I'm like, what do you guys want? I go, so I go, Bart Simpson. And I'm like, you don't want a Bart Simpson, you know. He goes, what do you do? I said, I'm a paramedic. So he said, well, let's do a paramedic for you. And then on 9/11, I called in sick, and my partner got killed, and the guy that got mandated, got in the truck, got killed. So I had the flag done as a little memory of the city.
Hey, if you have a story that you want to share, go to our website, storiesoftheink.com, go to our forum, load up your story. You can even load up a picture too. We want to hear from you.